एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्भय अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। धन धन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी महाराज, धन गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहिब सच्चे हवाए बंदगी अवुर दर वजूद मरा, वगरना जो किच्चु नहीं आमदैन नमूद मरा। There was no need to take birth if I cannot do बंदगी। दौलत जावेद बाशत बंदगी, कुन बंदगी कुन बंदगी कुन बंदगी। The wealth of life is बंदगी, and I should do only बंदगी, says Bhai Nand Lal। धन धन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी, गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहिब सच्चे पातशाह, वासी आनंदपुर, माता साहिब कौर, पिता गोबिंद सिंह। waheguru ji ka khalsa, waheguru ji ki fateh। We are visiting the Bani of the Japji for some time। 30th Pauri, today we need to discuss, talk, visit। The Japji is an internal query into the spirit of a human being। What is at the core of our life? What is it that brings us to understand life? And how Sahib, Guru Sahib is guiding us about life. We see through our senses. We live, touch, feel through our senses. If the senses have a limitation, then we are limited in our vision of life. What is the vision of the spirit? In this Pauri today, we will visit the visitation of the Trinity, of the three. The number 3 in many languages is the same, sounds the same. In German, Persian, French, Punjabi, tre. How is 3 an important element in the play of the world? Why don't we see God? Where is God? Why don't we see Him? What's the reason for not able to see the Creator? Maybe we discuss these things today in the 30th Pauri of the Japji. Japji Sahib is the first Bani of the Guru Granth. The second Bani composed by Guru Nanak Sahib after the Siddh Gosht. These 4 Pauris, which we are doing presently, where the ending of the lines of the Pauris is the same, Adesh, they say Adesh, are a part of a dialogue with the Siddhs, with the yogis of that time. 500 years ago in India, the primary religions were Hindu, Muslim, and then Yoga religion was a separate sect by themselves. So in the Guru Granth, often it is mentioned Muslim, Hindu, and then Yogi. In the Asa Divar also, we get the same method of addressing the different communities of spirituality. Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj, Guru, lives in a vision which is different from ours. We have a vision through Maya, where Maya is the Shakti. The Shiv has represented the Shakti. Creator has brought forth the Shakti, the Maya, through which creation exists. If there is no Maya, there will be no creation. Maharaj said, Aman Jaman khel rachaya, agya kari kini Maya. This coming and going, birth and death is a game. If you look at this absolute vision of life, then we will see a very different perception of what life is. We are bogged down by too many thoughts, and that clouds our vision of life. Maharaj says that Maya is in the Agya of Creator, part of creation. When Guru Amar Das talks about Maya, he says, Jaisi agan udar mein taisi bahar Maya. Like the heat preserves the child in the womb of the mother, such is the way Maya nurtures life. So the reason for creation to exist is Maya. And Maya is under the hukum of the Creator. Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj lives a vision. Jagat Jyot, the living life. Not a perception of thought, but a clear vision of who the Creator is. We don't see that vision. We need to understand why we don't see that vision. And how does that vision open? To somebody who wants to see it. Unfortunately, spirituality is not a passing inquiry. It's not just a perception of, should I know spirituality? Spirituality is all about the entire creation. It lies at the core of our being. So our inquiry has to be very serious if we need to progress. But nowadays we are more wandering souls. We like to taste everything and know little in depth. We have opinions, we have thoughts, but most of them are superficial. Our knowledge is not visionary, but it is just thought-based, momentary. Bhai Gurdas talks about this and says that a seeker asks questions but never walks the path. He wants to ask but not do. Then he says, Pritam ke desh kaise batan se jai. How we go to that life where my beloved is, my Pritam is, my second better half is. With just talk. So if the door to our inner reality has to be opened by us, or we want to open it, then our inquiry should be more serious. We have to want more seriously, because there are some steps we will need to take at our end to cross this bridge. And one of the more difficult endeavors, in fact, one of the most difficult endeavors, is to drop the ego. We don't drop the ego even when we listen. Even when listening, we are judging. So our listening is incomplete. When Guru Sahib talks about spirituality in the Japji, he mentions this and he says that from suniye, from listening, complete freedom comes. Complete freedom from all thought will come if we listen completely. The four bodies of Suniye which came in Japji before Maniye, before we go into Manan, before the Man is completely tuned into the reality of the Creator, it needs to listen very carefully. And in listening, there are infinite dimensions. But first, listening to what the Guru is saying so deeply that I am no more. Gaviye suniye man rakhiye pao, that I become love. Dukh par har sukh kar la jaye. This is the way we give up pain and sorrow from this world, and we go into the new world where there is no pain and sorrow. So, completely doing any action frees us from duality. When we are completely present. The other day, someone asked to go to the hills to meditate. The mind is a trick game. When we are here, it runs to the hills. When we are in the hills, it runs to the plains. The idea is to be where the mind is. No matter how difficult the situation is, but we want to escape the mind. And we never want to give up the ego. These are the two hindrances to knowing and seeing Creator as a living entity, Jagat Jyot. So we then do the other things. We create photographs. We create idols. We create symbols to convince ourselves that we are in touch with the Creator. But those fall short. Knowing the Creator is living the Creator. Ek Omkar, Satnam. There is only one energy in this entire creation, and that is the Creator who's created us, our source energy. We can be in denial, and that will keep us wandering, and we will visit pain again and again and again. Confusion, pain, chaos. But then the other fact is also true. No matter how much we wander, our inner mind never separates from our inner reality. All it takes is to give up the ego and dive into ourselves and lose ourselves and find the Creator. Tuk dam karari jo karo, hazir hazur khudai. The other day I was going through some discussions between Kabir and some other followers. And there were two Veds, doctors present, and claiming that they could win over any physical ailment, win over death. And Kabir was laughing at them when they claimed this. And when they asked Kabir why he was laughing, and he said, there is only one energy in this entire creation who controls everything. If he wants to take us from this plane, nothing can stop us. Your claims that you have more power over death are all false. In the Asadivar Maharajan, one line says, Ko rahe na pariye paiye. When the measure is complete, nobody can stay here. What is life, my friends? Is a visitation rites for some time, where we call some people our own, who will never be with us, where we do some work which we have to leave behind, where we try and earn some wealth which will never be ours, in the sense that we can never take it with us wherever we go. These are only visitation rites. There is no one who stays here. There is one person who stays here. One individual. I would say I'm wrong and I say person or individual, but there is one energy who stays here. And that's the Creator Himself. And when a guru or a sadhu or a sant meets the Creator, dissolves him or herself with the Creator's energy, breaks the barriers of separation between the creation and him or herself, then he also or she merges with the Creator. And in that sense is always here. The Gurus are always here, gone nowhere. And if we play the game right, Jugti method, then we can meet the Gurus. We can meet Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Maharaj. We can meet Guru Nanak. Not in the way the senses meet people, but this is the meeting of the inner minds. A completely different paradigm. Something which can't be narrated with words, one would say. And even if we do, we will be doing injustice. A simple thing like a tree can't be narrated in words completely. How can the meeting with our own Creator be explained only in words? So Maharaj has used other adjectives. Bismad, he says, all creation is celebration. And when Guru Amar Das talks about meeting the Guru, he talks about it through Anand. Absolute happiness. A part of every part of creation. Anand is the energy prevalent in every single particle of creation. It's not got any reason. That's the nature of creation. So when we meet our Guru, we meet Anand. But for that we need to understand ego, go beyond ego, no dhyan, no shabad. We visit the 30th Pauri today, Maharaj. Ekamai Jugat Beai. We will read through the Pauri and then let's see what Guru Sahib is trying to tell us today. Thank you.
Waheguru Ji.
Waheguru Ji.
Ekamai Jugat Beai. Tin Chele Parvan. ਇੱਕ ਸੰਸਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਡਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਏ ਦੀ ਬਾਣ ਜਿਵ ਤਿਸ ਭਾਵੈ ਤਿਵੇਂ ਚਲਾਵੈ ਜਿਵ ਹੋਵੈ ਫੁਰਮਾਨ ਉਹ ਵੇਖੈ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਨਦਰ ਨਾ ਆਵੈ ਭਗਤਾ ਇਹ ਵਿਡਾਨ ਆਦੇਸ ਤਿਸੈ ਆਦੇਸ ਆਦ ਅਨੀਲ ਅਨਾਦ ਅਨਾਹਤ Jug Jug Eko Ves. Waheguru Ji.
Thank you. When Guru Sahib talks about creation, he says Ik Omkar. There is only one. And when he says there is a Maya and Creator, in the representation of Maya, then two come about. Dvait. What two would mean is that there is no absolute good, there is no absolute bad, and good and bad and all these qualities remain together, one defining the other. When we will say who is good, we will have to say he is not bad. Who is rich is not poor. Who is in pain is not, who is unhappy is not happy. So we'll have to have the opposite with it to define the energy. The Maya is created as a duality by the Ekomkar, the source creator of this entire world. And when we view the life through this perception of absoluteness, Guru says there is nobody coming and going, nobody taking birth, nobody dying. Aman Jaman ek khel rachaya, agya kani ki ni maya. Nobody comes, nobody goes. This is a game. Now when this life comes into play, then three comes into action. I am talking, you are listening. These are two. And then the process of talking, the process of listening, that's the three. So everywhere there's a seer, a seen, and the process of seeing. The three will be in play everywhere. This is the trinity of life. This 30th Pauri is visiting the concept of trinity, the three. Like in Hinduism, there are three: Brahm, Vishnu, Shiv. The one concept of someone giving birth, someone preserving and the other who kills, who destroys. The creator, nurturer, and the destroyer. The three energies. In Christianity also, there is a similar concept. The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Maharaj says by some, Maya is the mother of these three. This is what is traditionally followed, traditionally understood. Eka Mai Jugat Vyai. The Mai is the Maya. And how does Maya come about, Maharaj? Maya is the concept of hukum of creation. Hukum creates Maya. The Shiv is the creator, the one energy creates the Shakti. This is the play of life. If there is no Maya, there will be only one creator. And then this Maya is our friend. This is what deceives us about the reality of life. The Maya is what makes us understand that I am reality and I don't know where is God. It's the absolute extreme pendulum of creation, where I am the foundation of everything. And there is no creator. I don't see the creator. I wake up in the morning, there's a milkman delivering milk, so there is a reason for the milk, the milkman. Somebody gets vegetables, there's a cook who cooks for me. Everything which happens in my life, I see there's a logic to it. The cook is cooking the food and I get the food. If life has a creator, where is the creator? Why there is no logic to it? Why doesn't he knock on my door every morning and say, I give you breath and you breathe because of me? This is the Maya of creation. If the creator knocked at my door and told me that he was the foundation of my life, I will be not there anymore. There will be only creator. To preserve the world as it is, through his daya, through his compassion and love, the creator never becomes apparent in our senses. If the creator did become apparent, Maya will be gone. So the play of life exists through the daya of the creator. That's why love is an important element to meet the creator. The daya is the love. We only think about our creator when we visit two aspects of life which we don't want. One is pain, sorrow, and the other is fear. So fear is a very wrong thing. But fear also makes us live. If I don't fear the snake, I will put my hand in front of the snake or try and catch it. And it can bite me and kill me. If I don't fear touching the socket of the electricity and put my finger into it, I will get electrocuted. If I don't fear driving rashly, I may hit someone and hurt myself in the process as well. So life is preserved by these emotions. This is the Maya of creation. Then why is it all wrong? Why is Maya such a negative thing that we are always fearful of it? And we say, we don't want Maya. What is Maya doing? Maya is a curtain which hides the reality of life from us. If the reality is known to me, then Maya, while it exists, doesn't take away the essence of life, doesn't take away the reality. And that's how the pain goes away. The pain goes away only when I know my source and I can go beyond my ego. That is how Guru Sahib has encouraged us to live in this world, to live in the ego and yet have the ability to go beyond it. Because the ego is transient, constantly changing. My relationships, my knowledge, my wealth, my place, reason for my being, everything is changing constantly. It's the moving mind. So when we talk about life in the Trinity, the proton, electron, neutron, that's how the play of life is happening. And traditionally it is known that Maya created these three. Eka Mai Jugat Vyai. There is a mother, and by some method she has produced three children. Ek Sansari, ek Pandari, ek Lai Diban. Tin Chele Parvan. And has created three energies, three beings. This is what is understood. This is what is perceived. But Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj rejects the possibility of Trinity without the Creator. All these divisive energies exist only because the one is. Because one Ek Omkar exists. Without the one Ek Omkar, nothing is there. You may call him or that energy by different name, but doesn't change anything. And where does it or he exist? How do I visit that? Experience that being, experience that creator. Maharaj says, Kat hi khojo pai, go within. Bahar pitar ek ko jane. There is an experience we will get when we meet our creator. We will see only one in the entire creation, within us and without us. See, not in the sense of the seeing, but we will dissolve into that one energy. So in that way we will meet the Creator when I have dropped myself. My ego is gone. Bahar Pitar Eko Jane. There is only one in this entire creation who gives us birth, nurtures us, and whose hukam we live in. Guru Sahib has based the foundation of the Japji through the word hukam. Something which we don't really understand, because the hukam can never be known, but it can be lived. Hukam is the order of the Creator, the process of creation. But we are all oriented towards results. So we want to get something. So we alienate ourselves from the process. If I am playing good tennis, then I need to know the process of playing good tennis. How do I move my hand? How do I grip the racket? How do I see the ball? How do I hit the ball? The process. And when I become the process, then I am no more. Then I lose my ego. Otherwise, I cannot play completely. That is true for any action. For anything I do, if I do it with complete dhyan, then I is dropped. Because in our source energy, dhyan is existent. If we drop our commitments to everything around us, even for a minute, everything, we will become complete dhyan. Our energies are committed to the outside perceptive world. The mind is wandering outside. So it doesn't correlate its energy and go in. So Bani guides us, inspires us to shut the door outside. Moond liye darwaze. Shut these outside doors, physical doors of the 9 doors. Bhaji ele anhad bhaje. Inside us there is a celebration. Maharaj says that these three who exist are under the hukam of the one Creator. This is a process of creation. But the entire creation rests on one pinnacle, one Creator, one point in which everything exists is losing the ego. Because ego is the Maya. Ego is our separation from our Creator. And there lies the pain. All our lives we are seeking this source where we come from. We don't know it. But we know that we will be happy. So happiness becomes our seeking. When we meet our source, we will be happy. When I am without conflict, when I am in harmony, I feel happy. So we keep seeking happiness. But when we seek happiness in the physical world, it doesn't come alone. In the Greeks, there is a mythology, a story. He says, happiness and sorrow were two friends. And they had a very big fight. So they never got together. What God did is tied their feet together. One's left foot was tied to the other's right foot. So when we are with happiness, sorrow is close by. And when we are with sorrow, happiness is not far away. They both exist together. So our seeking of happiness brings us pain. Because we are seeking happiness. Then how should we live, Maharaj? Guru says, Aas ande se tehne keval. Expectation is the root of disappointment. So we must expect what we know is near at hand. So we are not disappointed. In the root of our attitude of life lies our problems. We are always expecting something which we cannot achieve. And then we expect miracles. So first thing is acceptance of where I am. Maharaj raised this question in the Japji, Kiv satyara hoiye? Kiv kude tutte pal? How do I become truth? Hukam razai chalna, Nanak likhya naal. What is with you? You accept. And then understand what is hukum. Hukum is the will of the Creator. We can never know the will of the Creator in completeness. He says, hukum na keha jai. And then he says that he who knows hukum says, I am not. Nanak hukume jai bujhe, taho mein kahe na koi. Beyond this wall of ego lies a journey of love and celebration, where the ego doesn't go. Like we take off our shoes before we enter our house. The ego has to be dropped before we enter the house of permanent joy. Unconditional love. Dropping it means a lot. That's the difficult part of life. Because we live only in the ego. We only know the ego. The body, the me, the education, my thoughts, my judgments. Everything is me. I don't know anything beyond me. There's no life beyond me for us. So we want to hold on to this me. Even before the other person has stopped saying what they want to say, we have an answer ready. Me is always the way I live. It's always me. And when the me is dropped in the ego world, then we fall into depression. I'm not. So when the psychologist nurtures us, helps us, he wants to reinforce that I am. So he or she will say my name. When you are doing healing, they call out your name again and again. When they want to emotionally heal you, us. They want us to come back into our ego state. We've gone below our ego state, in depression. I am not. But the reality of our spirituality is beyond the realm of the ego, the upper segment of the ego, where I have dropped myself willingly. It's not taken away from me by force. Nor does death take it away. Nor does experience take it away. Where the pain can make me feel so burdened that I want to commit suicide. I am so burdened that I don't want to live with my I. I want to give it up. The pain of life. is defined by the stronger ego. The bigger the ego, the more painful life is. The more flexible we are, the lesser the pain. But sometimes, too much changes too fast. A table has 4 legs. If one breaks, maybe we can support it. But if all 4 go, there is no hope. There's no legs to support the table. Such is life. We also have legs to our life. We also have facets to our creation. Our children, our family, our careers, businesses, wealth, status, everything put together is the legs to ourselves, to me. If a lot of that change quickly, then we don't know anything about us, that I am no more, I have nowhere to go. It can become very confusing, very burdening. But life's ananda lies in the upper circuit of ego, where I drop the ego willingly, not by force. And I cannot drop the ego. The Guru removes the ego. I am living in my thoughts. My thoughts are defining me. For a spur of the moment, I am still in my thoughts. And the Guru changes the gear of my life. Takes me into an inner realm where there are no thoughts. Where there is only Anand Maharaj. So meeting the Guru, the true Guru, is Anand, experience of Anand, unconditional happiness and love. Guru calls it Amrit. It transcends death. This is the key of creation. Maharaj says, Jivtis pave tive chalave. This is the key of creation. The entire creation is the will of one hukum, one creator. And we don't know this creator. Jiv hove furman. All of life exists with the hukum of the creator. And we don't meet this creator. Yet life is an opportunity to meet the creator. That is what life is about. And how do we meet the creator? Home name naal virodh hai, doye na bas ek thaye. We need to drop the ego and go into Naam. The other thing is that the man, the inner mind, that's where the play of life happens. And I don't go inward at all. I wander outside. I wander in pleasures, joys. Nothing wrong in doing that, but the fact is that limits our experience of life. If all our experience of life is only physical, then we are not spiritual. Because the spirit has its own experience. And where do we meet the spirit? Through the mind. Between the body and the spirit, there is a man. Part of it is moving mind, and part of it is a non-moving mind. So whether we are sitting or not sitting, if we are able to stabilize our mind, we will visit the 38th Pauri soon. Aaron mat ved hatyar. Stable mind meets the Shabad. Shabad is the key. Shabad is the Guru. Shabad is the Anand experience. Shabad is my entire reality, beyond the me. And how do I meet the Shabad Maharaj? Gaviye suniye, man rakhiye pao. Sing the Shabad or narrate it. First do it verbalize it first. The Bani is defined in 4 different segments. The first is Vakri, where I say it. Then he says Madma, Pashanti, Para. These are the Banis defined. Before the thought comes the Shabad. Even before the idea comes, the Pashyanti, the para is beyond all thought. Para is the Vaikuntha. Dhyan and Shabad. These are the key to opening the doors of our inner self. Having Dhyan in Shabad. Shabad is the Guru. Maharaj says, give satyara hoiye. How do you want to become truth? And why I do want to become truth? Because not becoming truth will be my pain. It will be my wandering. And now, entire creation rests on this hukum. Jivtis pave. As the Creator wishes, Teve chalave. So the Trinity has no real sense because the Creator is the one energy, according to Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj. And in this way, he is closer to Islam than to Christianity or Hinduism. Even in Buddhism, the Dhammapada visits the Trinity. He says, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharnam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangh Sharanam Gacchami. So he visits the Trinity through these Buddha, Sharan of Buddha, then Sharan of Dharam, then Sharan of Sangat, Sangh. Actually, we play those energies. No issues with that. But Maharaj says that there is only one energy really which exists, the one Creator. Everything else is subservient, is under the order of that one Creator. So he only asks us to meet this Creator. O vekhe una nadar na ave. Maharaj says that we see, the three see, they can't see him. And this is my dilemma as well. Where is God? Why don't I see God? Well, when I meet pain, that's an invitation to meeting God. That's an invitation to meeting love and happiness and going beyond confusion. Invitation to solve the puzzle of the mind. That's the real problem actually. We are puzzled by our own mind. Something sensual happens, attracts us, we feel it will give us pleasure, we get pulled by it. We don't have the ability to see beyond that momentary pull. This is the Maya. The Maya has a lot of energy in it. When the Maya is connected to the senses, then it pushes us and pulls us into the physical world. But when I put my dhyan in Shabad, then I go into a dimension inward. It breaks me from the physical. So where my calculations about life are entirely physical, the Shabad is a spiritual experience. And what is Shabad? Shabad is the entire creation, represented in form and formless. To connect with the Shabad in a calm mind, desireless mind, a relaxed mind will open an inner joy. And that will be those initial steps of a toddler trying to walk the spiritual path. These are the doors which the Guru opens, and there is actually a physical door which blocks me, a spiritual door which blocks me from my inner experience, which Guru calls the 10th door, Dasam Dwar. What Sahib is saying, Jiv tis pave, tibe chalave, jiv hove farman, o vekhe una nadar na ave. We see and we don't see God, we don't see the Creator. Bahta hi vidan. Most of us are confused by this happening in creation. Bahta hi vidan. Church. surprise of creation is we don't see the creator, and yet he is or she is. The last lines are the same as the previous three Pauris we did. So the Trinity, the energy of the three, Brahm, Vishnu, Shiv, Maharaj says has no real basis. All creation rests on one energy, and meeting that one is our way of meeting and knowing ourselves completely. Otherwise, we have half knowledge. Go beyond the Maya. The Maya is that which can be measured, which can be touched, seen, felt. Everything is Maya. But the Maya exists with a hukum, with an order. And recognizing that hukum is knowing the Creator. So when I am thoughtless, then I can visualize the hukum. When I am in thought, when I am always judging, then I am in the ego world. But when I go beyond the thought, Ades Tise Ades, Maharaj says salutations to that one Creator. Guru Nanak Sahib is in the vision of that one Creator. He is living that energy. He is not imagining it. It's not in his thoughts. It's in his entire being. Our entire being, our every part of our spirit is the Creator himself or herself. Ahad Anil, timeless. Anil, never be corrupted. Anad has no beginning. Anahat can never be destroyed. Jug Jug Eko Ves. Through all creation, there is only one Creator in his one form. The changing world is the Maya, but the unchanging form is the reality of creation. It's my reality. How can I get there? Maharaj was asked this question in the Siddh Gosht. Kit kit bid jag upje purkha. Kit kit dukh binas jai. How does the world come about? The yogis ask Guru Sahib. And how does pain go away? Maharaj says, Haume vich jag upje purkha. Through ego, the creation comes about. Naam visariye dukh pai. Not being able to do Simran, Naam, Abhyas, Jap, I go into pain. Actually, the results of the ego all culminate into pain unless they merge with the Naam. So my physical experience of life will become painful no matter what I have done in this life. I may have huge wealth, I may have very good family, I may have everything perfect, but it will culminate into pain unless I have merged with the Creator. So then when I take birth, how does it happen? The other way. Guru Amar Das says that when we have taken birth, live chutki, lagi trishna. Maya amar vartaya. I have broken my connection to my Creator. Live chutki. My Simran has gone. So when I'm in my mother's womb, I'm in Simran. But then it goes away when I take birth. Lagi trishna. Then ego world, trishna is the defining parameter. How hungry we are is what defines our life for us. Trishna. And it makes us wander. Because every experience pulls us through Trishna, through desire, towards happiness. and culminates in unhappiness. So the wandering, one after the other experience, we seek happiness. Everything which we do, we are seeking happiness. There is nothing wrong in the physical life. To enjoy it, to live it, there is nothing wrong with that. But to limit our experience of life to the physical is inviting our inner pain. Because everything which we are experiencing in this life is a visitation rites. There is no permanent rites in this. The Sufis call it a sara, a place of temporary life, temporary living. Sara, like a hotel, like an ashram where we stay temporarily. There's nothing permanent here. Creation is not permanent. But Anand and love is permanent. And that exists in the core of creation. That's the name of life, Maharaj. And when we meet Guru, we meet our love and pain, our love and our joy, unconditional happiness, and we go beyond pain. Because then, there is no reason for our happiness. It is there in the state of my mind. So Guru calls it kar, nej kar. My inner house, my real house, my permanent place of living. Maharaj again and again inspires us to go towards Naam, towards our egoless state of being. Bhagavad Kabir says that everybody is a gambler in this world. But seeking happiness without Naam is a gambling. We are all doing the same thing. We don't see the Creator. Can we see the Creator? Maharaj says we can. Tuk dam karari jo karo, hazir hazur khudai. Hazir hazur khudai. And what do we need to do for that? Bande khoj dil har roz. Seek in your inner mind. All the answers lie within us. When we have stable mind and we merge with the Shabad, then all these doors, opportunities, possibilities open up. If we do that, then we transcend death. Marta marta jag muah mar bhi na jane koi. ऐसी मरनी जो मरे और न मरना होए. Maharaj says that when somebody knows what death is, for that person there is no death. The whole world is dying. Everybody dies. But they don't know death. The reason for that is because we avoid pain. So the ultimate pain of life is death. So we avoid death, the thought of death, the experience of death. We become numb when death comes to us. So we don't know what has really happened between our leaving the body. So we don't know that there is no death. Aman jaman khel banaya. Agyakani kini maya. Agyakari kini maya. This is the Maya of creation, where we think we are living, we are dying, we are changing. This is Maya. But in reality, there is an inner mind which never changes. And Sahib explains this to us, that no one comes, no one goes. And when he talks about Brahmgyani, the Sant, he says this only. Janam maran dohu mein nahi, nor in birth nor in death. They are only visiting the physical world. Janam maran dohu mein nahi, jan paropkari aaye. They have come for the others' good. Ji daan de pagti layan. They connect us to the spiritual life. Ji daan. the birth of spiritual birth, Bhakti lion, and they connect us to Bhakti. And Harsyo land milai. They make us meet God. How do we meet God, Maharaj? O bhi chandan hoye rahe, base jo chandan paas. The trees next to the sandalwood tree all become sandalwood. They smell the same because of the oneness, a closeness to sandalwood. Such is the experience of the inner mind. When we are close to a spiritual being who's awakened and we become one mind with that man, then we also become awakened. So, the sevak of the sadhu, the sant, is also a part of the sant. We see that in many experiences of Sikh tales also. There was one Sikh with Guru Arjan Sahib, Sach and Sach. There was one Sutre Shah with Guru Har Gobind Sahib Maharaj. So many Sikhs had the power, whatever they said would happen. Because they were so much one with the Guru, there was no difference between the two of them. It happens with dhyan. When we are in dhyan, then we are aware of everything. Aware of our subconscious mind, aware of the external realities, aware of thoughts of others. Everything comes with that. But more importantly, we have the ability to transcend the moving mind. That is the ability which Shabad and Dhyan give us. Chaltyo man rakhe, Amrit chake. Give up the moving mind and you meet Amrit within your mind. The 30th Pauri Maharaj of the Japji, visitation of Guru, meeting the Guru Nanak, Shabad of Guru. Shabad is our Guru. Next week we will go in ahead. We are going to meet the 5 realms and then the Shlok in the end. Before the Shlok will come the 38th Pauri. The key is to understand that we need to go inwards. We need Shabad as our guide, our Guru. And we need a serious endeavor to open our inner doors. It's not going to happen with just curiosity. With these words, I culminate today's session. I invite any questions which anybody would want. And if you are in YouTube, you can write out your question. And then we can finish the session with an answer. Thank you for being here. With your presence, I meet my Guru. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.